Let's talk about why we done with the 90s, y'all.
Woo!
This
Man, I
is
wish
just
TK was
proving my
here for
point
this
as
one,
LeBron
man.
James as being the GOAT. Keep proving my point, 90s. Keep proving it. Oh.
I was a
Guys
point.
like
Talking
I
about.
know the guys like Tariq, guys like Tolu, bro. People have waited for this day, brother. This is like the craziest, like the best. This is the best that the LeBron argument for GOAT has ever been, bro. Because we see this talent. Oh my god, bro.
Well,
The talent.
Here's my thing with something like that, because we are done with the 90s. All right, the 90s
Thank God.
now, all right, compared to the competition now, there is no competition. That's the thing with the game of basketball. I said this before, but like you can't compare histories of a game like football and basketball. Like you can't compare the two, because with football, there hasn't been any real like evolution with the game. I mean, it's still gridiron, dirty, down the mud type of game. It's a physical game.
Nah, I don't know about that one.
Nah, that's not true.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Change-
I don't know about that one.
You can change.
Football is definitely more catered to offense now.
Yeah, it's definitely evolved that
It's
way.
compared to offense, but the elite defenses, when teams have elite defenses, they end up winning the championship. Is my point. All right,
We don't have any
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Ray Lewis's or
Hear me-
freaking
hear me out.
Whoa,
Sean
we do got a
Taylor.
Roquan Smith.
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, Mook. That hard hitting style.
That's
You can't
because
have
of
that
the
anymore
rules.
because-
That's not because of the abilities of the players.
Exactly.
If
That's
Roquan
my
was,
point.
that's the game. That's not the players.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. The rules have changed the game and made it more catered to offense. So I can't say that
Let me finish.
football just, is the exact same as it was, 15, 20 years ago.
Nah, I wasn't. I agree though.
All right, I'm saying when we're talking about football, all right, and how the game has evolved. Yes, it has gotten less physical, and that's to protect the people that are playing the game. All right, but in terms of the actual game itself, I don't think anything has necessarily changed. All right, it's still at the end of the day a very physical game. All right, there's nothing that's going to prevent that. All right, the reason I bring it up is because when it pertains to basketball, all right, shit has actually changed. All right, the amount of scoring threats that we have in the league now would put up amazing numbers in the 80s and 90s. All right, it's funny enough. The final score of the Sixers-Knicks game on Sunday night was 79-73. We have not seen that kind of score in today's league since 2016, which was now 8 years ago, right? Yeah, 8 years ago. So this level, this growth of the game, all right, it has changed a lot of what like people think of how basketball works, because in the 80s and 90s there were a lot of plumbers that had Michael Jordan and give me Isaiah Thomas, Magic Jordan, Magic Jordan. My God, this rum's getting to me. Magic Johnson is getting to me. There were a lot of plumber players that they were taking on. But
No. Magic Johnson is what? Huh?
What?
No. We're not just gonna go past that like you ain't just saying what you just said. Magic Johnson is what team?
I did not.
Yo, that is wild.
No, PC. That's wild. Magic Johnson is what?
I knew he was going to say something, bro.
Nah, that's wild, PC. That is wild.
Oh my God. That man said Magic Johnson is getting to.
I did not call Magic Johnson a player.
Oh, Magic is doing what to you, brother?
No, I did not. What y'all talking about?
Nah,
There's
bro.
no way out of this one,
Nah,
PC.
brother,
you're done, bro. You're done.
Yeah.
You're done, bro. You're
Don't
done.
keep cutting me up.
That's
You're
insane, bro.
You're
That was
done.
insane.
Nah, PC
Point
cooked,
me.
man.
You're cooked,
Yeah.
PC. You're cooked.
You're definitely cooked. But it's
You
all right.
are
It's all right,
fried.
brother. It's all right, brother.
You're,
Just go
you're
ahead and
fried,
log
bro.
off for me,
You're
brother.
fried. You're
Listen.
you're a 20-piece McDonald's chicken nugget,
Don't
buddy.
edit it.
You're
Don't edit
done.
this out either.
You're
Nah,
Post
done.
this.
don't edit this out.
Post
PC.
this.
Nah,
Don't
we're
edit
not
it out
editing this
either.
out. Nah, you're done, PC.
Yeah, don't
You're
edit
finished.
this out, man.
Oh my God. But
You
go
would
ahead,
know.
That's
bro.
what I ain't gonna let you.
You're cooked as hell, bro. Oh.
My point being is that the game has evolved so much since the 90s. All right. The amount of scoring threats that we have in the league now are twice, 3 times, tripled, quadrupled to what they were in the 90s. So we cannot compare what Michael Jordan was doing to Clyde Drexler and Gary Payton in the 90s now to what LeBron is doing to Paul George and Steph Curry in the 21st century now. All right.
Well, why not?
I don't think we can because
Why?
when we're talking about what the league was back in the 90s, all right, we just seen. I use the example of Knicks Sixers final score Sunday night's game because we haven't seen that in the league in 8 years. All right, we got bench players literally going off for sometimes 30 a night. We would never see that in the league in the 80s and 90s. Never even consider it. All right, the amount of threes that we see guys taking, we would never consider that. All right, there was who pulled up the one tweet earlier? It was a women's basketball game, and like the team shot 8 for 46 from 3. Right, I know it's the woman, but that would never be considered in the 90s era of the NBA. All right, there like so much has changed with the game of basketball with the NBA. I just feel like, comparing the two, I don't want to say is pointless because it's not pointless. Is people are gonna compare no matter what. But I'm still rock with this agenda that we're done with the 90s because we should be done with the 90s, right? We should not be comparing what year 21 LeBron is doing to what Michael Jordan was doing in the prime of his dominant run in the NBA because it really
there's no comparison. Yeah.
It really
In comparison, bronze.
Hold on. Hold on. Cause y'all trying to be slick.
Nah, ain't no slick. The
Nah.
90s were trash. Ain't no slick. I've been
Bro,
saying this all week.
I
The
was
90s were
watching
dog
Magic
shit.
Johnson do a crossover. I'm telling you, my grandma's 80-something years old, and I feel like she can steal something from the 90s with the way they were dribbling. I tell you, their crossovers are so slow, I swear it's disgusting.
That's where the line is crossed, bro, because Tolu, you're not beating Clyde Drexler in a 1v1. You're not beating Michael Jordan in a 1v1.
Well,
You're not.
Whoa. First and
Whoa.
foremost, I got this. Hold up, because are we forgetting something though? Because didn't MJ lose to like a accountant? He lost to this man in a 1v1. Okay, let me go ahead and look this up, bro.
Is this before or after Scottie Pippen?
I saw
Brother,
Michael
he was
Jordan
in the
get
prime
locked
of
up
his
by
year and
Muggsy Bogues.
He got his okay, but that's different. But listen, this is what I'm talking about. Hold up.
Let's see. Muggsy Bogues was a
LeBron James plays against streamers. These niggas go in average 10 points a game and then go and sit on the podcast or TikTok shaking my hips. What the fuck are we talking about here?
What does that have to do with them being better players? What the hell are you talking about?
That's not the point because y'all talking about
point
Carl Anthony Towns is looking like freaking prime Shaq in the 90s.
and he should. He
Copy
fucking
him.
should.
So he's
7
done with
foot.
the 90s. He's not even the best. He's not even a top 10 player. And he's looking like a top 5 player in the 90s. He's not top
That's
3.
the point. That's the point. Brother, if the game evolved to the point that it is nowadays and niggas from this generation can go and play in the 90s, something would be fucking wrong.
Yes.
It's the same with the 60s and 70s. And just like, and I want y'all to realize this. Y'all talking about this, we done with the 90s. When they go back and they talk about Victor Wembanyama is the GOAT and fuck Bron, I want y'all to fucking remember this.
That's how the game evolved. That's why I don't know why everybody's so opposed to it. I'm fine with that. I have no problem with that.
I am too.
People talk about Ant is like the next coming of D Wade. Like, okay, I like that because D Wade set the standard, and now we got a player that's basing his game off of this guy, and he's about to probably eclipse this guy. because he's not adding to his game as the game itself evolves. That's a part of it.
No, that's cool. That's not my issue. My point is the game should definitely be where it is now. Like, brother, we have a 7'2" nigga with an 8-foot wingspan that can fucking sham guard and like sham guard like a point guard. We have too many people. We have too many niggas like that. 7-foot people that can guard on a perimeter and break a point guard ankles.
We never saw that in the 90s. Ever.
And that's the point. My point is, be real about why the game has evolved. I'm not saying for no reason. I don't want nobody to misunderstand the fact that, yes, the game is 10, 20 times better than it was in the 90s. It's 5 to 10 times better than it was in 2010s, But context is very important as to why some of this shit we see now is the way it is. You couldn't play zone defense in the 90s. You couldn't overhang on defenders. You couldn't switch on defenders.
Zone
no.
In the 90s?
No, you could not.
You could play that. There was no shooting.
No, you could not. It's called illegal defense. I'm about to go and look it up right now. I told you I did my research.
Okay, while you're doing that, let me show you this. So Jordan in 2003, he played a CEO in a 1v1. He got his ass handed to him. He was 45. The dude that he played was 45 years old. This nigga was let's see here. Just a few months after his tenure with the Washington Wizards had come to an end, he literally got dropped off by a 45-year-old worker. So we're talking about Jordan and his arrogance and all that stuff. Oh yeah, nobody's dropping Jordan off. Jordan got dropped off, brother. Like Jordan lost to Bron when he was pre-draft in the pickup game. They don't talk about. It's okay. It's the arrogance. It goes. The generation goes.
That footage is more rare than Will 100, Mook. All right, we go off assumptions right there.
What are you talking about? It's assumptions. It's literally things that happened that have been proven that happened. What are you talking about?
Also, that account. I mean, you bring up the year that MJ faced him. It was in 2003. That man had retired already twice.
Are you serious, brother?
Yes.
This man is literally. This nigga literally just came off of an All-Star. He was averaging 20 a night. It was still MJ regardless. He's a GOAT. He lost to a freaking everyday worker. He was at the time he's a former Princeton guard. He lost to this dude.
Nah, Mook. We're not gonna sit here and act like Washington Wizards Jordan was the same Jordan in his prime, regardless of if he was averaging 20 a night. We can't do that though. That's a different.
Bruh, stop this. Y'all always making an excuse for this bald-headed gambler, yellow-eyed nigga. This man literally is still and always was people's GOAT. Regardless, he's an NBA player viewed as the GOAT. He was still cooking folk in his last years. He was still Jordan, but just not as peak Jordan. He was still cooking niggas. So for him to still lose to a everyday nigga is crazy. And y'all making that one Jordan. Nigga, he wasn't playing a role player. He wasn't playing another star player. He was playing a freaking y'all gotta stop this stuff, man. Come on, man. I got everything. I got points right here. I don't did my research. Y'all go ahead and get cooked because I'm gonna cook with you. Come on.
I bet $100. I could get a sweat that plays at the rec center right now that could beat Ben Simmons in a 1v1.
Okay, you're tweaking now. You're tweaking now.
You're actually wild.
No, what are we even doing?
Let me go down a list.
PC's hate for Ben Simmons is crazy.
Ben Simmons can't even play a game. What?
Somebody bring up Ben Simmons in this chat? Why are you bringing up a nigga whose back is literally destroyed, brother? He can't even.
He's a Call of Duty player.
He's a billboard. That's wild. He's just a streamer. That's a streamer. That's a streamer. That man got more games online than in person. That is crazy.
I'll say even when Ben was playing, when he was playing for us, all right, this man was still streaming in between games. LeBron was taking on quite literally streamers. To Bam's point, he's taking on.
What does that have to do with their play on the fucking court? Y'all keep bringing up irrelevant bullshit. Why do y'all keep bringing that bullshit up? Jordan played against janitors and freaking mechanics. That doesn't matter to me. How are you on the fucking court? You were dog shit.
That's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make, though, Mook. All right, with the evolution of the game itself, all right, these players. All right, when we will take a guy like Ben Simmons and the way he's been playing over the last 3 years. All right, he's only been averaging what, eight points per game. All right, and has only played like 8% of the games itself. All right, this is still a guy that is, I guess, the plumber to LeBron's MJ. All right, that's all I'm saying. Right?
Okay, I'm completely lost.
Yeah, I don't even get that.
Okay, so I don't know where you're going. I love you, PC, but I don't know where you're going with that. But I just
right, I'm saying
prime.
But
This
I want to
talk to
Mook.
looking like Magic.
I want to talk to
Prime
Mook
Ben
specifically.
Simmons is looking like Magic Johnson, right, in the 90s, brother. He is cooking folk. Prime Ben Simmons is cooking folk in the 90s.
Yes.
But here's the thing, though. We also have to understand. All right, there's two things. I'm pretty sure Bam's probably already spoke on it.
Wait, hold up.
The game.
TK, before you, because you just hopped on to, I didn't even think you were going to be, can you, TK, everybody, for the WHS Sports Podcast, that's all I want to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here. I'm sorry. But, so, two things, all right? So, one, I don't know if Bam already spoke on this, but we had this conversation in the chat. The era of the 90s era, regardless of if you want to critique the defense or if you want to critique the players that he played against, regardless, the 90s, 80s, and 90s was strictly defense. The game of basketball
was strictly fouling. What are you talking about? They were throwing niggas out the middle of the air. What are you talking
about? Think about it, bro. Think about it.
That's fair. But what all I'm saying,
think about the skill level that you.
Just hear my point first. So it was strictly 80s and 90s defense. Yeah, it was a lot tougher fouls. Yeah, people were pulling, and you were allowed to hit hands and knock guys over the head. Yada, yada, yada. But that's what the 80s and 90s were. Okay? So if you throw a player in this era, this era is also, I wanted to make this point, is strictly offense. They took hand checking out of the game for a reason. Because it was so unbalanced. Defense, you were allowed to get away with too much on defense. However, Mook, since it changed, bro, you got to admit that the NBA caters to nothing but the offense now. You can't even, bro, if you tap a guy, there's memes of it. We seen the Joel Embiid meme. PC, I'm sorry, I had to be your guy. We seen the Joel Embiid meme where dude is literally touching this man's finger, bro, and got called a foul for that. It was a foul call for that, bro. The defense. So here's my thing. What do we expect? What do we expect the defenses to do, bro? Like, it's all offense. Like, you can't do anything. Being a defender sucks. Unless you're a two-way player like a Kawhi Leonard, or I can't even name 5 guys that are strictly defenders nowadays in the NBA. Bro.
Patrick Beverly, Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert, Victor Wembanyama. These are guys.
What do all those people have in common? What do all those people have in common? They're athletic fucking freaks. Yeah. Their wingspan is double.
Wait, we're talking about
Patrick Beverly wingspan is like 7 foot, and he's only 6'4".
If we're talking about strictly,
hold up, PC. First and foremost, athletes are supposed to fucking evolve. It's the fucking new age. Get with it. Who fucking cares? New athletes are going to be more athletic. They're stronger, they're faster, they're quicker. Now I'm gonna retort back to TK because first and foremost, you're talking about the NBA is more catered to offense, and I'm with you. I do understand, but guess what? That makes the fucking defense have to do get better. You have to get skilled as guarding the most skilled players that we've ever seen in the world. It's not just no fucking bullshit where you can just come up and hug a nigga like the entire time, where you can just knock a dude out the air and it's not called a foul, or it's called a common foul, and you're not just throwing out the fucking game. Like, this is the era we're in. The skill level on both sides has had to evolve. The players now are not being fazed by anything that's going on as far as like offensive. If you put these players, if you put Kyrie Irving in the 90s, that physical defense, they're looking at him like he's fucking a sorcerer. They're looking at him like he's a damn witch. So, like, you put Cat in there. Cat's not even top 15, in my opinion. He's not even that guy. But you put him in that, brother, he's dominating that era. I don't like, in the defense, I get it. Y'all saying, oh yeah, the defense is not there now. The defense, brother, the defense is great now, but it's the offense is so good that you literally the defense has to be better. It has to be even better than it was back then because you had the guard without the hand checking. You have to guard these skilled players without fouling. Like, that's my point.
The defense is fucking average. It's average as fuck.
No, it's fucking
and you can't
not.
even touch
It's
people.
literally not.
The refs don't know the difference between a blocking foul.
That's
the point. Why do the refs don't? Why do the refs do that? Because of Adam Silver in the fucking NBA. They don't teach refs how to ref. They don't teach refs the difference between rules.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
That's the point. That's the point we're trying to make. That's the game. That's how the game has evolved.
Not making any point.
That's how the game has evolved.
The players have had to get better on every fucking angle.
But they haven't got fucking better. They haven't got better.
You're fucking lying at this point.
Defense has dropped off. Defense has dropped off totally.
The offense is at an all-time high. It's at a time
that's offense. That's offense. We're not talking about offense. We're talking about the defense and how the league has shifted to make sure defense cannot be.
At the end of the day, the fucking defenders of the 90s are getting fucking torched by the best offensive players we've ever seen. It doesn't matter about the fucking.
They should. They fucking should.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Because y'all keep bringing up these fucking spectacular examples of Kyrie Irving. There is not a person in the.
So they should, but the defense is better than the 90s. What the fuck are you saying?
There is not a person on this earth that can check Kyrie Irving. I don't give a fuck what era it is. So why do we keep bringing up Kyrie Irving?
There's a better chance today than there is in the 90s. There's a better chance today than there is in the 90s. I bet you that.
Ding, ding, ding.
No, there's not a person on this earth that can check
corners. Hold on.
Let's put Vinny Johnson on Kyrie. That nigga will literally be on a stretcher by the third quarter, nigga. Stop playing with me. You off your fucking meds. You off your meds right now, brother.
Excellent debate. All right, I love what I saw. All right, what I will say to support both of your points. All right, because I agree with a lot of what Luke is saying. I also agree with a lot of what Bam's saying. All right, when it pertains Bam, when he was talking about defenders having to essentially adapt to what the refs have been doing. All right, the refs have missed a lot of key calls that have cost teams games this year. All right, a lot.
That's a lot of years. I mean, I think about what was the one that we had last year? LeBron
against the Celtics.
LeBron
getting fouled. And see, that's my point. How the fuck is a ref right in front of and he can't call that?
See, and that's why I agree with you, man, because the refs are fucking terrible.
But see, it's not because refs are just bad. And NBA refs are totally different from NFL refs. NBA refs are full-time. That's their fucking job. They get trained. They have to go to summits. That's not the refs. That's Adam Silver not enforcing shit. They change rules all the time. They change coaches' challenges 2-3 years, like in a row. Like, why do you keep fucking doing that? And it's a microcosm of money.
They keep tweaking that. They keep tweaking with that. They keep tweaking that. But they did do a great thing. Excuse me. But like they did a great thing with the year that they stopped Trae Young would literally just stop in front of people and he'll get bumped and they would call it a foul.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and I'll give Silver stuff like that.
They're starting
like
to
that's good.
to it. And that's the thing that I'm saying to you, man. Like I feel like things like that, when the defense always has to they always have to be locked in. They always have to be keen to the rules. They have to be skilled. They have to do that. And I know it looks like, okay, this defense ain't shit. Bro, the defense stuff today is fighting more stuff than they've ever had to do. And in my opinion, I think that they are the most skilled defenders. I think if you put these defenders back in the 90s, I don't think that some of these scores who are limited, these scores was not, brother, they're shutting them down because they're not shooting threes. So now we only have to guard. Okay, let's guard from mid-range in. Okay, mid-range in. Now it's only a select few of you guys who are really dedicated, true hoopers at let's say 3 levels. I won't say 5 because I won't talk about the post up. I won't talk about getting to the line. There's only a few of you that really, truly, I have to worry about killing from the mid-range. Okay, once I shut you down from 15 feet in, now I have to worry about, okay, now I got to worry about you getting to the paint. I got these guys. Let's say we got a guy who's not even, let's say we not even have the best defenders. We're not going to name AD. Let's name the guy, what's the guy that just came to Dallas that just came from Washington? Gafford. Let's put Gafford in there. Let's just say him. He's 6'11". He's not too tall. He's not a, athletic freak by any means. He's just Just say Gafford. Brother, Gafford is putting them in a fucking straitjacket, brother. Yeah. Like every time I'm guiding him to the paint, he's pinning that shit against the glass, and then he's throwing that shit. That motherfucker might look like prime Kareem in there. Like that's just how I think.
No, you're right though. I don't disagree with stuff like that. I don't want you to think like I'm automatically saying no niggas can't. No, brother. Like I said before, there is not a single motherfucker in the '90s besides maybe MJ, and I don't even think MJ can check Kyrie like that. You put Kyrie in the '90s, and maybe Scotty. Yeah. I don't think
literally any player in the NBA today, and they would do really good back in the '90s. You can't plug a player from the '90s in today's league. They would not do.
I don't, but see, that's why I don't necessarily agree. But I get to that. That's not the point right now. My point is, I agree with everything you're saying with that. I agree with that. But when you look at the difference, like TK said earlier with the '90s, every motherfucker had to give effort on defense. Anybody that knows defense, like playing defense in the NBA, even college, unlike offense, you have to put effort in on defense. It's not just about ability. Like you can be freakishly talented, but the difference between the defenders we just named and like the average motherfucker that don't give a fuck about defense nowadays, that irritates me. They give effort. They study the rule book. They know what the fuck they doing. They study film. Every motherfucker in the '90s was like that. From MJ to the 15 motherfucker on the bench. You throw them in there, they're going to give effort on defense. Whether they're good at it or not, they're going to give effort. You don't see that shit nowadays. Niggas, the 15th man is not getting on the court and playing no fucking defense. Even the starters, Dame Lillard would not play no fucking defense.
That's your point, Bam.
That's a difference in the strategy from the teams, from the coaches. And I don't think that that's necessarily a personnel thing. And that's what I'm saying to you. I don't think that that's necessarily like, you look at guys like Dame that you just mentioned. Doc Rivers isn't telling Dame to go ahead and guard their player.
But see, that's the difference. That's the difference nowadays from the '90s.
That's a coaching thing because we've gotten smarter. We're saying, okay, we're not going to put Dame on the island with one of the best players that we have on the perimeter and tell him, hey, lock up, young man. We're going to put guys like Jay Crowder, guys like the players that they have on that team that are designated to guard that because we have evolved as a whole. It's not necessarily just, oh yeah, these players can't guard. These players have literally been told, hey, we need you to guard we need you to guard the X, Y, and Z. We saw it when Giannis got Coach Budenholzer fired. Giannis told Bud, hey, I want to guard Jimmy. Jimmy's cooking everybody. Nah, bro, we're gonna have Drew stay on him. Like, this is just like the strategy. They have different strategies now. It's not even like remotely, but to say that to say that these players cannot guard or just won't, I don't agree.
I would fully support your point, Mook, had it been like just like a few select coaches in the NBA, but I think there's too many coaches now that prioritize offense over defense. Like I'm looking like even in tonight's games, like the Mavericks are currently whooping the Bulls' stats right now, 109-76.
Brother, that's the Bulls. I mean, that's a terrible goddamn. Goddamn.
That's just an example. Like,
brother said the Bulls.
My point being, there have been a lot of blowouts in the league this year. All right, yeah. Look at a team like the Celtics that have won 3 games by 50 or more points. Like that's just
dominant team, brother.
Common. Like I think there are a lot of coaches now, a lot of personnel now that are prioritizing offense over defense. Which
and
is
I blame the Warriors for that. But even when the Warriors won in those years,
they played fucking defense. Like you can say that.
Yeah, they still had top
Steve Kerr. You can say whatever you want about him. He knows the value of fucking defense. And again, this is probably a horrible example, but you look at Monty Williams. The motherfuckers, they don't know how to hedge a screen. They don't know how to go under a screen. They don't know how to filter the man to the paint and rotate back out. That's simple shit, bro. That shit that I know, and I only play up until college. I know how to do that. I could go and coach the Pistons to play fucking defense.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I agree with that. I disagree that there's a different mind mentality, but as far as ability, I don't think that the 90s are touching them. And I think that we've seen that when the players truly want to lock in, normally it's in the playoffs because players also, I ain't trying to play every 82 games. Like, hey, bro, we gonna give it like it's game 7. That's a different mentality in itself. We look at players in the playoffs, and we've seen motherfuckers we've never seen lock in start going crazy on defensive side. We've seen these guys that we've never seen lock in on the offensive side. They're getting buckets. Man, we saw freaking what's bro name that they called him Mr. Bubble, man.
TJ Warren.
Yes, bro.
TJ Warren.
We seen motherfuckers that we've never seen lock in just go crazy in the playoff setting or a different setting. But as far as regular season 82, I don't think we're ever gonna get that again because players are smarter. They're conscious. It's different. I don't know.
There is I think we had a great debate by the way. I just want to say that. I think the reason why like so many old heads are losing their mind over this because they know like that's what they grew up on. That's what this is.
It's a nostalgia, man. It's a nostalgia, in my opinion.
We got going absolutely insane trying to defend Michael Jordan and them. All right, but it's just reality. We're in 2024 now. 90s.
Oh yeah, but PC. I think what we need to keep in mind also is that when Tolu is in his 50s, he's gonna do the same thing with LeBron James. You're not gonna be able to tell him nobody's better than LeBron. It really just depends.
But that's what he's gonna do. That's what he's gonna do. We know Tolu's gonna do that, like for real. Like, I'm in the camp where like I was a person who saw Kobe, who saw MJ, and it'd be like, oh, MJ's a GOAT, and then seeing like guys like Kobe, and be like, oh man, Kobe's a GOAT. And now looking at Bron, like, damn, Bron got 40K, bro. You got like all this greatness, he the GOAT. Like, I'm the guy. I don't care. Like, anybody could be the GOAT. In the future. I just love to see hoops evolve and take the next leap, man.
And also, I think the reason why this debate got so out of hand is one because the old niggas always take shit too serious. Of course, niggas not really done with the 90s, bro. It's a TikTok trend. Like, I had a nigga come up to me at work and really was like, mad as shit, like, oh, they talking about they done with the 90s. Like, bro, it's not serious, bro. It's just a TikTok trend. It's not serious. Yeah, nobody seriously is done with the 90s, bro. Like,
we not gonna forget you 90s. We love you 90s.
Like, and I think that old heads feel like us as the younger guys don't want to pay homage, but that's not it. It can coexist. We can, because I will always appreciate MJ for what he did for the game. I will always appreciate the Scotty or Patrick Ewing or Kim Olajuwon. I will always appreciate that because I came up on that in my younger years. But literally, the game is supposed to evolve. The old shit is supposed to get left behind. KG said it earlier. MJ wasn't talking about no fucking Bill Russell when he was playing. He was not talking about no fucking Bill Russell. He was not talking about no George Mikan. He was not talking about none of them niggas. Like, respect them. They won these X Y amount of rings, but fuck them.